And welcome back to the show. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected many individuals across the globe, especially in the area of mental health, with people suffering from pain, grief, loss, and loneliness in response. Our next guest has wanted to bring awareness to everyone in every facet of our society so that we can start focusing more meaningfully and effectively on people's state of wellness, as well as psychological and physical. Joining us to share more details is the founder and president of Scudder Intervention Services Foundation, Brett A. Scudder. And Brett, good to have you.
Good afternoon, my brother. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to be here to talk about this important effort.
Yeah, we're talking about, wellness, and mental wellness is very important. We know that we just came off of mental health awareness and able to deal in this area of wellness. When we look at what's going on, particularly in New York State, the governor talking about gun crime. You've got other people wrestling with COVID. You've got other people who've got unemployment issues. It's really a time where there needs to be wellness checks, I should say.
Yes, there you go. There you go. Thank you. And thank you for saying that, because it's the wellness check part that's important, right? We talk about mental health as if it's just a word, but we have to understand that this is a real experience for people. And that experience requires us to check in on each other. How are you? How are you doing? How are you holding up? How are you impacted by this pandemic? How is this gun violence thing and this rising in crime affecting you? Not to assume that because we have services, our services are provided, that people are using those services or even know where those services are. A lot of people are not even tapping into the community services or healthcare services that's right next to them, that's on the block from them, that's in their community, because they're so traumatized at home, living in fear of what's happening from COVID, from the crisis that's going on with the pandemic, gun violence, homelessness, unemployment. So many things are affecting us. The one thing that we're really struggling with, though, is how do we check in with each other to know how we're feeling, what we're feeling, and what do we do with the experiences that we are feeling?
Yeah, and the experiences that we are feeling are very serious and very real. What do we do to help validate people's feelings to, get to the place where we can say, listen, what you feel is real?
Well, it's simple. We just have to respect the fact that what people are feeling is real. It's not something that we can say, hey, Brett, you should not feel this way about the pandemic. You should not feel this way about gun violence. You should not feel this way about, unemployment or not working or not being able to sustain yourself effectively. What we need to do is recognize that and say, yes, I understand that this is your reality. I understand this is your truth. And so because this is your reality and truth, how can we help you with that? What can we do to help? Where can we create safe spaces in our communities where people can come out and just express how they're truly feeling? How do we create a community that people are not afraid to express what they're feeling? How do we create a community where people feel like it's okay to not be okay? Those are some of the conversations that we need to be having, and really having them in such a meaningful way that people feel like, you know what? I really, truly feel like you were true, genuine, and very, very open-minded about what this experience that I'm going through is.
Yeah. So what can we do right now in this time, in this space and place? I mean, we're putting a lot of attention on awareness, and I know you have a message that you want to share too.
I think the bigger question is how effective are we in what we're doing? The effectiveness is what I have a challenge with. So for example, we're doing this How Are You Wellness Week on August 1st to the 7th. And we have a simple message to everyone. Put aside all the frivolous conversations about sports and entertainment and this and that, and really just let the conversations for that week be about checking in on each other, our mental and emotional wellness. Let the conversation be at the dining table, the restaurant, the bar, the football field, wherever you are. Say, hey, Brett, hey, Jamie, how are you? How are you feeling, man? How is life? How are things? Really? And just taking that time to have that meaningful conversation. Because when we connect like that, we're now able to say, wow, I didn't even know you were going through all of that. I didn't know that this is how this pandemic has affected you, or the gun violence has affected you, or the fact that you're unemployed and not able to meet your basic needs are affecting you. I always thought that you were a guy that had it together, you held yourself together, you carry yourself good, you're a person who always looks like you're on top of. I didn't know that you were going through all these different things. Once we start having those meaningful conversations and getting to know each other, we hopefully are going to get to know the realities behind the face, the dress up, the makeup, the things that we put on the outward, to know what's really going on inwardly and how we can apply that to really effectively helping and creating effective programs to meet those needs.
So August is the day. It'll be a week, and you're looking forward. What do you want people to know as far as being able to participate?
So August 1st to the 7th is that week. We're calling it the How Are You Wellness Week. You could go to howareyouvellnessweek.com. You'll find more information there. We're asking people to be a part of the conversation. Let us know that you're willing to do something in your church, your school, your business place. The feedback we have gotten has been, my heart has truly been moved by the feedback that we have gotten. So many people have expressed gratitude to know that we can really start asking this question seriously. People have been sharing how much they're going through, and just not having a place or anyone who has ever asked them that question. So whether you're at your business place, a school, a church, you're in the general public, you're hosting events, we want you to participate that week by doing something that's focusing on how are you, and letting us know so we can help to promote that, so we can help to share awareness of that, let people know that that is being done. The more we have people engaged, is the more people we will reach. And this is not about you being a healthcare worker, a clinician, or all that. This is just us going back to basic human traits. Inhumane. Sorry, I'm stumbling on words right now. How excited I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just getting back to being humane and move away from just this inhumane model of people just not caring about our emotions. We know that it's uncomfortable when you start talking about emotion. People don't like that, but we're focusing on that for that whole week, and let that be a week of healing, a hope, inspiration, motivation for everyone.
Yeah. I think about, the wellness of people today. And I think there's so many people who we see, and they're actually smiling. And they're smiling, but they're just functioning. They're just functioning, and they're just really existing. When the fact is, COVID-19 has had just a tremendous impact in their lives.
Yeah. And the thing is that, Darian, we don't even know what that is. We don't even know where that is coming from. We don't even know where, the true emotions of that is. We see COVID, we see the death toll, we see the panic, we see the Delta variant right now causing more anxiety and stuff, but we don't know what that experience is like for people. How are they feeling about these things? What have been the impact on them? And how are they dealing with that impact? And the only way we could do that is by sitting down and having a meaningful conversation, regardless of who you are. I'll give you an example. That week, we're going to be doing some interviews and having some guests come on, and none of it has to do with their titles or roles or where they work. It surprised them when I asked them to be a guest, because I specifically said to them, you're not going to talk about your work or your organization or your title, which is what you normally do when you go to a meeting. You're just going to come on and we're going to talk about how are you? And some of them were just like, man, I can't even tell the last time somebody asked me that question, because everywhere I go, I'm defined by my role or where I work or what I do. So now you got me stumped, because I got to figure out how am I even going to do this? Like, am I going to even be comfortable doing this? Can you imagine that?
I can, and we got to wrap up. But I'll say this: I have my good friends and people I'm close with sometimes, and I say to them, "How are you doing?" And they'll say, "Okay," and I say, "How you doing?" And I say, "Okay," and I ask 3 times. I say, "Why are you asking?" I said, "Because we're so used to just saying it, just to get through it as a casual conversation. But the real, my real intent is to know how you're doing." So, Brett, thank you, because in August you're going to find out from people how they're doing. You're going to help them to know how they're doing. Brett Scudder, good to have you here, brother.
Thank you, my brother. So let me wrap up by asking you, how are you?
Maintaining, brother. I'm doing all right. You caught me on one of them days. I'm maintaining, brother. So I appreciate you asking. I'm doing all right.
Okay.
And if I'm
How
not
we
doing
doing?
well, by that time I'll catch up to you in August.
There you go. Take care,
All
my brother.
righty.
Thank you so much.
Hey, no problem. Listen, for more information, visit them on the website, sisfi.org. There you can find out more information, or also follow them on Instagram, or I should say on social media, SISFI. All right, listen, take a quick break. We've got more. Stay with us. Open continues in a minute.